no more oil-dependent country.
Dragon Ball Park will be constructed in Riyadh.
In Saudi Arabia, we don't have income tax.
Hi everyone, this is Rio Morikawa from Dubai, Saudi Arabia Real Estate Channel. And here we have Mr. Zaid from Astrolab, well-known consulting firm which is specialized in helping all companies to get into Saudi Arabian market. Zaid, can you please introduce us a little bit about yourself and your company?
Thank you so much, Rio, for this kind of introduction, and it's a pleasure to meet with you and with everyone in the channel. So I will introduce myself in the beginning. My name is Said Badawi, and I'm a business consultant in Astrolabs based here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Astrolabs, in brief, Rio, it's a market entry business expansion services provider. Our scope of work started in 2013 about expanding the companies to all the Middle East, starting from Dubai in 2013. And we have successfully expanded almost like 2,000 companies in the DMCC area in the free zone at that time. After that, in 2019, we launched our second office here in Riyadh, which was supporting all the needed inquiries for the foreign entities to start doing their business here. We have been doing this business here for almost like 7 years, and with this massive or huge experience, successfully we have expanded and fully settled up for almost like 960 companies here in the kingdom from all over the world in different industries. Our scope of work is starting from getting the company fully established here in the kingdom with all the needed inquiries, starting from the company documents, the legal entities, and even for supporting them through their ongoing business here in the kingdom, for the compliance regulations, keeping them compliant with the taxation authorities and the regulation as well. Also, we are supporting the recruitment services for hiring Saudi talent. And what I need to say, Astrolabs here is not just a consulting firm. We are partners with our clients to facilitate their business journey here in Saudi Arabia.
I was also in the same field in Dubai. I was helping Japanese companies to moving to Dubai. And there are lots of perspective and standpoints they have to care about when they're having offices, their businesses in Dubai. And the same will be applied to Saudi market, I think. So on behalf of these Japanese companies, let me ask you some questions about the Saudi Arabia market.
Please.
Before beginning, I think the Japanese people are not really aware of what's happening in Saudi Arabia. People say like Saudi Arabia has been changed over these 10 years and it changed a lot. What do you think is major changes happening in Saudi right now?
That's a great question, Rio. Actually, you are correct. Saudi Arabia for the last 7 years, they changed a lot in their way of the business and how to grow and develop the country itself. Even they have launched like a new rule, let's say, like they no more want to be oil-dependent country. What does this mean? They opened all gates for the foreign investors to come and to invest here in the kingdom, not only by having a business or a company, and even in the real estate sector, they are now allowed for the foreign investor to invest in the real estate and the residential part here in the kingdom, and even by launching a new project here in the kingdom, which will attract all the companies from the world in all kinds of industries, such as like construction, fintech, AI, manufacturing itself. So they need to change their core from oil-producing country to a worldwide attractive country for everyone who is willing to expand here in the Middle East, especially in Saudi Arabia. And for your information, we have very important expedition which will be started in 2013. And Saudi Arabia, through this expedition, they will attract every single business owner or business investor to come, to invest, to work, to add value here to the kingdom. And as well as for that, we have the World Cup, which will be in 2034 here in Saudi Arabia, which opened huge market entry for all the companies, all the investors in the sports industry, manufacturing, construction. So Saudi Arabia changed from closed country until 5 years ago, and now it's very well open for everyone to come. And also, they have launched a new kind of visas which will facilitate the investor to come, to live, to explore, to do their business here in the kingdom. This is how Saudi Arabia changed in the last 10 years.
So I'm also really looking forward to visiting the Expo 2030 in Riyadh, as well as the World Cup 2034, where the impact that they're making out of these events is tremendous, I guess. As infrastructure of the city expands, which means like more value would be added to the real estate as well. So that's also the reason I'm taking eyes on the real estate market in Saudi.
Actually, you are correct. Real estate, especially now as an industry here in the kingdom, it's booming. A lot of projects now they are launching, and I can say most of the country now is underdeveloped, starting from normal residential projects, constructions everywhere, and now by giving the permission for the foreign investors to come to buy, to invest. So real estate also, it is one of the most progressive industry that is moving forward here in the kingdom.
And you said, and more foreign companies are entering the Saudi market these days. Does the government support foreign companies to enter Saudi market? Do they incentivize foreign companies to do so?
Yes, this is actually correct. In 2019, Rio, before it was allowed for the foreign investor to have 100% foreign ownership here in Saudi Arabia, the government here, they changed their idea. They wanted to attract the people to come to invest, to add a real value to the country and to increase the economical wise. So the ministry itself, day by day, they are facilitating, they are making the journey of expanding and setting up your entity here in Saudi Arabia much more easier than before. For example, before you should have a Saudi partner with you to have your own entity. But now, no, you can, as a foreign investor coming from Japan, from Australia, from US, from any place in the world, to have your Saudi entity, which will be 100% foreign entity owned by investor overseas. And also, they are facilitating, they can say, the relocation of a talent to come from all over the world to work here in the kingdom, to teach the locals here, to let him produce and get more knowledge. And day by day, even the ministry here, they're always launching and advertising about projects, about a fundraising for the foreign investor who are willing to come to invest. Just they are giving them the all support to start to do their business here in the kingdom. This is how the government here have this strategy to increase the value of the investors coming to the kingdom.
That's really interesting. I hope Japanese investors are also aware of these things, and hope they are also invited to these events and being part of this.
Actually, this is the main reason why we are here. In Astrolabs, with almost like 13 years of experience, we are not only delivering the setup or the company requirements in the kingdom, we are also providing them with the know-how about Saudi Arabia, the benefits of establishing and do business here in the kingdom. And even we are supporting also through our connections in the governmental authorities with the local entities here to facilitate the way in the kingdom. And we are glad even to explain more and more to how to attract the Japanese companies to come to invest, to know more about the kingdom of Saudi. And this is our pleasure and reward for doing that.
And also, do you sometimes give briefing to Japanese companies, right, in Saudi Arabia?
Yes, actually, we have plenty of, I can say, of companies coming from South Asia, starting from Malaysia, Japan, Hong Kong, China. So we are familiar with the South Asian companies, and we know already the value of bringing them to Saudi to invest, to do their business in the Middle East as well.
So from the businessman, like a business owner's perspective, I think, well, they'd like to know companies in which industry can actually have the 100% ownership of the company if they want to have company there in Saudi.
all kind of industries or services, now it's allowed for the foreigners to invest in, starting from normal service activities like consultation, management, providing a tech support, AI, cybersecurity, plus to the manufacturing itself. And the Saudi Arabia, to be honest with you, Rayo, they are giving huge support for the companies to come to manufacture here in the kingdom, to produce something 100% made in Saudi Arabia. Plus to that, there is a huge support also for the companies who are working in the tech industry, starting from fintech, property tech, AI, software, mobile apps, because they know this is the future. So they are investing too much on those kind of companies. And plus to that, for the entrepreneur ones that they have like a crucial ideas that they will be adding to the kingdom. In Saudi Arabia, they are supporting them with a kind of entrepreneur licenses to give them the authority to work here in the kingdom. And recently, they are supporting them also by offering them a specific kind of residence permit, like a premium residence permit that says they can work fully in a comfortable zone here in the kingdom. So now it's allowed for all the foreign entities to start with any kind of services that they are able to do in the kingdom.
In Dubai, also after that kind of regulation was eased, more and more companies came to Dubai. And before there was a concept of free zones where people can have their office even before the regulation was eased. Well, so do you have something like a free zone in Riyadh or Saudi right now?
There is a plan for launching 6 free zones starting in 2027. In the meanwhile, there is 2 types of free zones here in the kingdom. One in Riyadh, second one in Jeddah. Now they are working to launch more 6 free zones to attract the investors, the traders to come to work here in the kingdom. And actually there is something different here. Saudi Arabia, they don't need to keen only on the free zones because they opened now for everyone to invest as a local entity in the kingdom without having the demand or just working in the free zones with all the facilities and the exemptions they can provide for the foreign entity.
And as you mentioned, the industries Saudi Arabia now focusing are, one is manufacturing and also the tech industries such as AI, fintech.
Yes, and also there is something booming recently, which is a property tech for managing the real estate itself. How to manage them, the consultation for them. So it's coming very, very strongly here about concentrating too much on the tech industries as well.
And also they are focusing on entertainment as well.
Yes, exactly. For the event and entertainment industry here in the kingdom, there is a governmental support for everyone who's working here because, we have, for example, every year Riyadh season. So now they are changing the way of how to increase the entertainment level by supporting the event companies for this industry to come to add more value about the events consultation, event management, how to bring this in the good shape which will be suitable for the kingdom. So events and entertainment also, it's becoming huge sector here in the kingdom. And I will give you a brief about one event which happened in May 2025. It was for entertainment and the amusement industries here in Saudi Arabia. This event, it became very famous because there was 920 companies who already exhibited their services in this event. And this company is coming from Australia, China, Japan, India, Pakistan, UK, Canada, from all over the world, because they know it is something new here in the kingdom. It is the right time to really invest in.
And also the Dragon Ball Park will be constructed in Riyadh. So that is something we are really looking forward to.
We as Astrolabs and me personally as Saeed, we have a very good experience with this Dragon activity here because we have set up one company from Hong Kong called Lab Engineering. It's Singaporean Hong Kong company, and they will be the exclusive provider to get this Dragon activity is done in Gidea. So we worked on this project with them, and we do believe it will be one of the most booming and attractive projects or activity which will be happening in Riyadh within the next 2 years.
That makes a lot of sense because the government is spending a lot to invite foreign companies, so they can take budget from the government, and also take a
100%.
look at the market itself. The Saudi market itself is very huge, and it's not really dependent on foreigners because domestic demand is huge, and also populations in Riyadh are expanding really fast. So there's no way for foreign companies that just wait and see it.
I can't agree more with this, Rio, because if you compared for all the countries here in the Middle East, Saudi, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Kuwait, Oman, Bahrain, etc., Saudi is totally different. Saudi is huge country with larger number of population. So they are always working to increase the talent skills for their locals, about supporting them, to teach them every single thing, to keep them motivated and up to date for all the surrounding progress what's happening in the world. So Saudis, they are supporting the foreigners, plus they are giving huge support for their own locals to motivate and encourage them to be real added value to their country.
So shall we get into something more technical in terms of entering the Saudi market? How difficult is it in Saudi?
Actually, I don't need to say it's difficult, but in Saudi Arabia, we have rules for any foreign investor who are willing to come to the kingdom. For example, you as an investor, you should have a company overseas, for example, in Japan or any place in the world. So you will be expanding your business from over there to Saudi Arabia, like you're going to create a subsidiary here in the kingdom, which is owned by the foreign entity overseas. This foreign entity should be at least 2 years old, plus should have like a financial audit support or statement that will be already provided to the governmental authority here, which is the Ministry of Investment. Whenever you have your company documents is ready, it is not like a tough process, but it's a process with the rules you should follow, starting from applying to the Ministry of Investment to get your company investment license, issuing your article of association and the commercial registration, appointing a general manager from the parent company overseas to be the main responsible person here in the kingdom until the company is fully operational. The time limit for this review, it will be between 2 and 4 months, depending about your documents availability and the process here in the kingdom. And the reason for this, and I will be truly honest with you, this is why Saudi Arabia, they need investors to come to the kingdom, but they need the real added value one. So they are investigating, they are checking your company profile overseas to give you the green light to move forward.
The point here is that Japanese people cannot just go to Saudi Arabia and set up their business because they have to have their own business back home in Japan.
Yes, exactly. Either in Japan or any place in the world. That will not make any difference, but you should have a legal entity present in any country with age between 1 to 2 years in max.
So what about the visa? So after setting up the company, can they have visa easily?
Yes. One of the main mandatory steps after the company is set up, or I can say the last stage, we have to issue a work visa for the appointed general one to come from the parent country or the country of departure, whatever it's Japan or any place. We should issue for him a work visa with the occupation of the general manager. Once this visa is stamped, he will visit us here in the kingdom to issue for him the residence permit, or how we are saying it, like Iqama, open a corporate bank account, which will enable him to start to operate here in the kingdom. So one of the main mandatory inquiries to have appointed general manager to be able to take the process forward and be responsible 100% about your entity here in the kingdom.
It sounds like a pretty normal process. Like it's that it's just similar to what we are doing in Dubai. With the help of your company, it should be easier. Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. We are glad to support any entity to start to do their business here in the kingdom, not only from establishment to facilitate their way and to make their market entry very smooth with fully commitment from our side to provide with all kind of support that the company is fully established and starting and ready to operate in the kingdom.
Okay, so what about the tax environment? For example, do you have a corporate tax? Do you have VAT or any other taxes there?
We have in Saudi Arabia 2 mandatory taxation compliances that every single company, Saudi or a foreign, to follow. We have the VAT, which is 15% and should be paid quarterly here. And the second one is the corporate income tax, which is 20% for the net profit of the company, and this should be done annually. Keep in mind, the ecosystem here in Saudi Arabia is very well developed, and everything will be registered and recorded on the governmental portals, which we are going to use during your business journey here in the kingdom.
So, for example, the Dubai corporate tax is 9%, and in Japan, it can be the total corporate tax can be something like 30%, and the individual income tax can be something like 50%. What about that in Saudi?
In Saudi Arabia, we don't have any income tax for any person. Just the taxation here is applicable for the companies. But for individuals who are getting paid in the kingdom, they are not paying any taxes here for their income in Saudi Arabia.
So people can get what's written on the offer letter, which is amazing. So that was a culture shock when I first received my salary in Dubai. And that will be also same in Saudi, which is a nice thing.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
And next question is, let's say that the company make a lot of profit in Saudi. So when they want to transfer those money back home, are there any regulations?
There is a regulation here in the kingdom regarding to this, which is applicable all over the world under the name of withholding tax. Withholding tax, that means you are going to transfer a revenue or a capital of your Saudi entity to your parent company overseas. And this withholding tax, it depends about a political agreement between Saudi Arabia and the country that the money is going to transfer it for. For example, withholding tax between Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates is 12,000. Between Saudi Arabia and US is 10%, So it depends about the agreement. And I do believe for Japan, the withholding tax for Saudi Arabia is 12%.
The company can send money as long as they pay this withholding tax.
100% correct.
Okay. So let's say after watching this video, some of my audience be saying they want to see Riyadh or they want to see you in person. So is that also possible for you to accommodate?
100%. They can feel free to reach out to me during their visit here in the kingdom. I am glad to host them and welcome them to our office here in Riyadh to explain for them further and in more details about Saudi Arabia, about our company, and how we can support them in their business. You and your hosts, you are more than welcome to visit us as soon as you can.
Okay, thank you so much, Saeed. With the help with Saeed, I can also help the market entry of Saudi. The execution would be done by Astrolab, represented by Saeed. But I can also attend the meetings with him so that I can do the interpretations, and then from my standpoint, then I will cover the topics that they should know. So if they're interested,
100%.
please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Thank you so much for your time, Saeed. Good.
Have a good day.